This is Tales of Swordfall.
Episode 21, Spiced Water.
Meanwhile, back on the east side of town, Rayanne, you were looking for Ulin.
Mm-hmm.
You basically got a good enough description. You're gonna find him. You notice that all the people are making their rounds, giving out the water, and you see this. They look a little bit younger than Nork, and there's this nice like for a halfling, she's really cute. She's, plump in all the right places, cheery, rosy cheeks. I mean, despite probably not being able to gussy up, she kind of has a natural glow to her. And she's serving the water, and this Ulin guy's leaning against sturdy surface, maybe a cot or a tent pole or whatever. And he has the international I'm kind of a sleazeball pose as he's talking to this woman handing out water.
Alright, I wait for him to sort of maybe sip the water just a little, just to kind of get some of that in. Maybe not too much.
And you see him the woman basically says whatever to blow him off, and he just kind of rolls his eyes and is just like, women, right? And he drinks the portion of water that he's given.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't foam at the mouth. He doesn't suddenly drop down and convulse. Nothing horrible happens.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like he just drank some water and got rejected by some woman.
Alright. I just stroll on in there and say, "Excuse me, are you Lynn?"
Why? Yes. And you notice that in this tent there are several young halflings, a woman, and they both have basically equivalent of wedding rings on that match.
Rayan just kind of cringes to the side a little. Oh.
But he's still giving you all that body language like he's a bachelor.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how are you doing?
Fine. And Rayan just says this nonchalantly. She's just like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm getting this over with. By any chance, do you happen to know anything about Gila?
Oh yeah, I'm cheating with her on my wife, and he looks really shocked that he just said this out loud.
Ooh.
I'm cheating on what? No, I'm cheat. He keeps trying to repeat something that's a lie, but just keeps blurting out the truth. And the woman that shares the matching wedding bands, definitely not Gila, comes up in a rage and starts hitting him.
And that's when I step back and just start watching.
Yep. And out of his pocket, there's a key that just kind of tumbles out as he's toppled over and pinned to the floor by this very capable halfling woman.
Oh, I'm picking that up.
And you start hearing the soft rumblings of things going wrong in this part of the camp. this is not an isolated incident. You start hearing other people going, well, yeah, I really do think you're ugly. What? And just everything. You just start hearing fighting breaking out every
Oh
which
man,
direction.
fruit syrup.
Well,
This is amazing.
now you know what that one is. And this is the point where Norik and Gavin enter this side of the camp where people are starting to yell at each other and lunge at each other, and some of them are even pulling knives out.
And Norik's gonna look in horror at what's going on, and he's gonna just go running over to the tent that was described to him, where Bulin was, and where Rayanne supposedly went, and he's just gonna dodge around everyone as they're getting into fights, and
Yeah,
then march into the tent.
give me actually a dexterity saving roll. Ooh,
Oh,
that's a little above average. 12. Let's just see if something happens. Oof. Okay, well, I beat you there.
Yeah.
So everything's good with dodging up until what happens?
What happens? So Norik's he sees these two, this couple that they're like swatting at each other and arguing and yelling, and he kind of runs out around the side of them, and then he sees these two grown halfling men, one with a broken bottle and the other one with a knife out, and he kind of sidesteps them, and then just totally unexpected, some halfling just gets tackled out through the flaps of this tent and just plows over Norik and just sends him right to the ground.
And you can see Gavin. He's having a little bit more trouble trying to get through this crowd, mainly because he's trying to be careful because he is so much taller than everybody else, and it's more or less he's trying not to step on people. And he sees you and comes to your aid and just lifts you right back up. And he looks around, just a little shocked, and says, "Does this happen all the time?"
Norik's gonna say, "No, something's wrong. Rayanne should be over in that tent. Let's go."
Yeah, Rayanne, you're leaving the tent. Norik and Gavin are coming for you. You probably meet as you're leaving the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Rayanne, what did you do?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't know, but you went off, and I don't know. I mean, first of all, Ulin, why? How do you know Ulin, and why were you?
It's a convoluted story. I think I will let you in on it when we can talk, like, amongst the party later on. Because it
He's
sounds.
married, you know.
I have no interest in him like that. Pete's sakes.
Good.
He looks like a creep.
He is. You have good perception there, at least.
I'll explain further later when we get all talking more like a more quiet environment. amongst.
Let's go back. Let's go back to my town area, whatever you'd call it. My my parents are over there.
Oh.
They're okay. We'll figure things out there.
All right.
And Gavin suddenly grabs you and lifts you up as two people just like kind of tumble through like where you would have been. And Gavin looks and says to Rand, "Need a ride?"
Why not?
And Gavin picks you up and basically puts you on the other shoulder, and he starts galloping out of the just sheer chaos. And Rand, that's when you hear a little drop of water again. And everything turns black and white. And you just hear laughing. Amused laughing.
I'll have to admit that was somewhat worth it.
If you stick with me, more fun is to be had. So, yeah, you finally see a part of Mr. Tangle. And he holds out a what you would call a hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's long. It's covered in skin. It doesn't look undead, but it does not look like a hand of anyone young. Like, saying that it's an old person's hand would still be making it sound way newer than it is. It's a hand that has seen a lot of centuries.
Almost like cadavers.
A little more fresh than that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, this like long, skinny, like these fingers are just freakishly long, and you just hear and feel breath on the side of your face. Let me see that key.
Okay. I don't see you using it right now.
Oh, Tyrker will want it.
Hmm.
And you can say I said hello. That will drive him crazy.
It probably will.
And he like cups another hand over the key and just hands it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything like suddenly explodes back into motion as you probably almost forgot that Gavin was in full gallop and there's just chaos happening around you. All of you hear the familiar sound of breaking glass, but then the somewhat familiar sound of oil actually being lit in fire in large quantity.
Hmm.
And there's like screaming starts happening, and it's just utter nonsense is going around. And
Question. So, was it only this is what, the east side of
yep.
camp?
Mm-hmm.
And what part of the camp were Norik's folks in? Was
Oh,
it?
oh shit.
Were they also on the east side?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Well. Huh. See, this is the part of the game when you realize you had a really good plan and you were going to try to separate NPCs from chaos, and then realize, oh, I forgot, like, towns are kind of bunched together. And now I realize,
I actually couldn't remember where the which part of town. I was like, were they east or west or south?
yeah, huh, whoops.
So
Oops.
this is all on the east side of the encampment.
Yep, on the east side.
Oh boy. So as they're in Gallop, being carried by Gavin, Norik's gonna look over to Rhiann and say, "So, Rhiann, I don't mean to jump to conclusions, but what did you do?"
All I have to say is don't drink the water.
What did you do?
I will explain it more once our party's secluded.
You would better have a. And at that point,
Gavin actually says, "No, Rand, I think you need to tell us now."
It's a little bit more far-fetched than to say, well, a little too far-fetched to say it now. I will just say that. We're talking up to levels of Nork. No offense, Nork. That level of crazy.
Norik's just this like, you know, when someone just has that vein pulsating on their head. Yeah. Oh, by the way,
You
I
need to
think
make that.
Norik's getting angry.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to make that wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh God, you're gonna go. You're gonna get psycho.
Oh.
Oh God, this is the worst time, man. Okay.
So Norik, he just starts losing it.
And
Go ahead, Paul.
that's where we end the session with Nork just suddenly go into Hulk rage mode.
Oh boy.
With all this chaos going around, Turker's like nowhere in sight, and oh wow. um, best worst result ever. Well, we'll leave the group in this chaos as we usually like to. And let's do our goodbyes.
Hey, I'm Gats Righteous. I was playing Tyrkir Flowski Sun. If you like Tales of Swordfall D&D, but you want something a little darker, you might get a kick out of Bane of the Ancients. You can find the videos of that on my YouTube channel right now. That's just Gats Righteous, Gats with two T's. And if you're interested in other things that I talk about and do, usually darker side of things, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, etc. If you want to check out some D&D that's a little more off the wall, there's another game that both Paul and I play in called Heroes of Old, and that's gemmed by Ludria. You can find those videos on the Band of the Hawk gaming YouTube channel or on bandofthehawkgaming.com. Also, all the stuff's on that bandofthehawkgaming.com website. Thanks again, Paul. Super fun. Always enjoy it. And have a good night.
Alright. And I'm Baron Butterfly, and I was playing Rayanne, who just got in a heap of trouble with Nork again. Again. Yeah, but yeah, you could catch me at Twitter at VRYRDM Butterfly or on YouTube. I do comics, I do art, I do YouTube stuff, and other very random things.
And I'm Guy, that guy who can't keep a sane character. I mean, that guy who can't sing. Um, and you can find me on YouTube, that guy who can't sing, all one word mushed together. Or on Twitter, guy who can't sing. And it has been a pleasure.
And I am that demented soul who controls all the strings in this, also known as the DM. I'm Paul. If you want to follow Tales of Swordfall, we're at Tales of Swordfall D&D. If you're listening to us on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And if you're listening to us on any other platform like Anchor, Google, Pocket Cast, Republic Radio, I think it's called, stuff like that. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate. We really love all your support. And we also have a Facebook, a Google Plus, probably something else that I don't know about or forgot the password to. But if you want to follow me in like my personal account, I tweet mostly about puppies and D&D and nerdy stuff I do. And I'm at Paul_Garish. That's at PAUL_GERRISH. Once again, thank you for joining us. To all the players, thanks for the lovely game. And to everyone, whatever time of day it is, I hope you're having a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't touch strange things.
Yeah. Don't trust strange voices.
Thank you for listening to Tales of Swordfall.
Please consider listening to these podcasts.
A long, long time ago, in a land far away named Phylor, there were 4 legendary adventurers.
We are the Adventurers 4, renowned across the land.
Using their cunning and strength, the party defeats many monsters and saves many lives.
Nick takes her fairy blade and stabs it into his other eyeball.
Oh my
God!
Can you go jump on my back? Do I cast Expeditious Retreat?
Yeah. Can Bob roll a D20 for me?
I don't like that. I don't like how you asked that.
D20 business.
What if I rolled a 1? What if I told you I just rolled a 1?
Come and join us weekly at How the Quest Was Won. Found anywhere where podcasts are located. Purchase not necessary. No real magic was used in the making of this podcast.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.